If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio. All of his money's gone again, so he's back at square one. He's back at zero. Guys, that was 25 grand. 25 grand's a decent investment, okay? And I used to work with a guy that had 30,000 saved up. He spent it on a ring and a wedding. Wow. I know another guy that I used to work with. He had, I think, 6,000 saved up. He also spent it on a ring. Guys, that's another lump sum gone down the drain. You don't get too many of these. Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about stop wasting lump sums, okay? Now, I've spoken about this a few times in multiple different videos, but I find when you actually make it the title of a video, you attract a different type of audience, and people have a different focus in terms of their mindset as to what this video is going to be, and it sinks in a lot more. Now, stop wasting lump sums revolves around what I call the system. Now, the system plays out generation after generation, and nobody seems to see what's really going on apart from the people who really reach the top. Everybody kind of leaves school, goes to university, comes out, gets a job, has a few years fucking around, getting drunk, reaches a point where they think, I want a little bit more from life, okay? They meet a woman, they might settle down. Next thing you know, they're thinking, oh, this is good, regular sex, we're living together, this is nice, things are going well. I really like her, do you know what? I'd even say, fuck it, I think I love this woman. Probably like the 7th woman you've ever met, okay, that's actually had an interest in you. Because she's pretty, you know, you're going all the way with this woman. You get a mortgage together, next thing you know, you're down on one knee, getting married, you have kids, etc. Then you're buying a second home, a brand new car, because you've got 2 kids now, you need a 12,000 seater. Don't know why people do this. I need a massive car because I've got 2 kids. It's insanity. And then, you know, might come a holiday home or something like that, right? That's the enjoyment years. They're different. I'm more about these early years. From, as a man, 18 to 40, then you're on your own. You can do whatever you want with your money and your choices, etc. But this is where I want to take you from 18 to 40. That's kind of my demographic, you know, so to speak. But so many guys don't see it that way. They don't see it that way. They want to live out that system. And at every step of this system is a massive waste of a lump sum. So you get to 18, you get your first job, you're living at home with parents, you're able to save up 10 grand. Wow. 10 grand, guys. What the fuck are you going to do with that 10 grand? That's life-changing money. You 10x that on a couple of coins or stocks. You know, you make a smart investment, you're looking at 100k. 100k is fucking doctor money. Wow, this could be a game changer. Oh no, he went and bought a BMW 1 Series. Ah, okay. Fair enough, never mind, okay. You know, you're still at home for another year or two, what are you going to do? I'm going to save up that money, going to have a lad's holiday, going to buy loads of clothes. I just bought a new watch that I can't really afford, but fuck it makes me look rich. So now this guy's got a BMW 1 Series, nice watch, going on multiple lads' holidays, really nice clothes, etc. It's about 18 grand gone down the drain, but he looks good. He looks as though he's being successful. And what does that attract, guys? That attracts a woman, okay? So now this guy gets to a certain age in his job as well, where he's earning more money, he's got this girlfriend, they're kind of just kind of mulling around in life, making decisions, you know, what's coming next. And after a year or two, things start to get serious. She wants to move in, okay? So he's probably got around about 15, 20 grand saved up at that point. If he's done well, if he's saved properly, okay, they've been dating, so maybe more like 15. They want to put maybe a deposit down on a mortgage, or they want to move into a rented property. So now his bills go up. Okay, so his money starts to either come down, or that entire bulk of money. Let's say they rent, so we can do the 2-parter. They start renting together. That money starts to come down. His bills have gone up. Life's a little bit more difficult for him. He's struggling a lot more than he was at home. The ideas that he wanted to do in his life, they're kind of out the window now because he doesn't have that spare cash to do them. Okay. After about a year of renting or 2, they start talking about, hey, it'd be nice if we had a mortgage. So now this guy's coming up like 27, 28, the first couple years of his prime. He's got about 25,000 saved now. Bang, he puts it down on a mortgage. So does she. Let's say she saved the same. All of his money's gone again. So he's back at square one. He's back at zero. Guys, that was 25 grand. 25 grand's a decent investment. Okay? And I used to work with a guy that had 30,000 saved up. He spent it on a ring and a wedding. Wow. I know another guy that I used to work with. He had, I think, 6,000 saved up. He also spent it on a ring. Guys, that's another lump sum gone down the drain. You don't get too many of these. There's not too many opportunities in your life where you have a giant lump sum. I talked about this before in the paycheck or the salary trap. You get paid monthly for a reason. If we got paid weekly, it wouldn't be enough to excite us. Okay? It wouldn't be enough to do some decent things with. If we got paid once a year, it's too much money where, yeah, we could spend it all in 1 week and be fucked for the rest of the year, but it's too much money where you cannot make major changes with it. Like if somebody said right now, here's 30,000, your yearly wage all in one go, do something with it. You know, you can make a major impact. You put 50% of that on Ethereum, that might become 100 grand or something. You know, that because that would be like what right now about 10 Ethereum. If Ethereum goes up to 10k, well, look, you've just made 10x on your money. Okay, this is the point I'm trying to make here, or just below 10x. You know, it'd be 15, but you've made a decent amount of money, and that's what they don't want. Whereas if you get paid monthly, it kind of keeps you in this trap where it's not too little that you get pissed off, but it's not enough to change your life, and it keeps you in this trap. But there is a way to save up a decent lump sum, and that's a couple of sacrifices. And men do this. They make a couple sacrifices. They want to build their money up. They're doing the right thing. But then they spend it on these big lump sums. A wedding ring for 6,000. A wedding for 18 grand. A mortgage for 30,000. These are all things that you're never going to get money back from. Yeah, a house if you sell it, but you're not going to get a lot of money back. Yeah, I'll rent that property out. Well, that's better. You know, you're on the right path now. But make sure you're doing it for you. You know, buy that property and rent it out, and there's 400 extra coming in a month. I don't think it's the best investment strategy, property, but it's still better. It's something for you that's going to be paying you back and improving your life moving forward. You're going to make your money grow. That's better. It's not the best, but it's better. But so many guys go and spend on things like like marriage. You know, they go and spend on like a holiday or a brand new car and stuff like that. Weddings, whatever, and all of that big lump sum that could have changed your life, because it's not often, like I said, that we get these lump sums and you just fucked it. You just threw it all away. I say in the Male Advantage ebook at the start, in the opening chapter, I think something about a wedding ring has to be like 3 months' salary. Well, that's what a lot of guys are doing. They're spending like 6,000 on a wedding ring, 8,000, whatever it might be. 6 grand invested in Bitcoin in 2010. I think I wrote something like makes you 37 million today. Okay, it would have grown that much. It's not often that you have these lump sums. And then guys, let's say you're now at 28, 29, 30 years old. You've been living in this house, this new house for a while, okay? You've got a few promotions because you're 30 now. When a man hits 30, you're just going to get paid more. Okay, it is what it is. Maybe you found other streams of income, you're building that money up. You save that money for 2 or 3 years. You've now got like 50k, 60k in the bank. You're feeling like the man. Things are going well. You're about to plan out a few ideas. The missus asks for kids. Well, during that 18-year period, that is 250,000 based on current rates, current money. 250,000 guaranteed, signed off. You know, there's no way you cannot pay for that kid. So that's 250 grand gone. So you've currently got 50. You're going to have to pay for a lot of shit up front, but pretty much every penny that you earn now for the next X amount of years is going to go on that kid or the next kid or the next kid, depending on how many you have. That could be 500,000 guaranteed gone. Well, the average person only earns 1.4 million in a lifetime. Even if you're a high earner, you're really going to struggle, guys. You're really going to struggle to then do anything that you wanted to do in your life. And what do you become? You become a slave to your own family and your mortgage and whatever, but it's all related to family. You got to pay for things. You got to keep that roof over their head. Now you're just a glorified slave. That's what you are. You're going to a job. It's a great job, whatever. But you're only doing the things that you do to fund these people that you've added to your life. it's a much better idea to get these lump sums, to put them into something productive that's going to pay you back, set yourself up financially, so that maybe you have, let's not go over the moon here. Let's say you just have 4,000 a month coming in, but it's residual. It's residual. You don't have to go to a 9-to-5 job, so that when you do have the kids and the girlfriend, the wife, whatever, the house, whatnot, you're not up at 5 a.m., coming back at 9 p.m., putting the kids to bed, getting up in the morning, driving them to work, stressed out your nut, going to a job that you hate, getting paid money that you think should be a bit more. It's not stretching that far. You know, you're working really hard, and at the end of the month, once you've paid all your bills and paid for everybody to make sure they're okay, you've got £300 left. And you're like, great, I could go for a beer with the boys. And then you get nagged for doing that. It's not, you know, this Family Guy life isn't all what it's cracked up to be. It's not as impressive as the movies and the media try and make it out to be. There's an alternative life. And it's not being alone forever, but it's making sure that you tick your own boxes and live your own life first. Don't get too caught up in, I need to be a family man, I need to provide, I need to be the man of the house with a woman and 2-3 kids and a dog and a white picket fence. There's a lot of unhappy guys going to work each day who wish that they could go back in time and do things different. A lot of guys. And this is what I give you. I don't necessarily say this is what you have to do. I tell you what you should definitely not do on First Man. And these are just massive potholes. These are massive potholes. Every time you get a lump sum of money that you've saved, do something with it. It's the reason that you hear about these guys that work at McDonald's and became a millionaire. Because they saved up 10,000 from working as many hours as they could, put it in something like Bitcoin, bang, they're off. Now they're investing in properties, now they're investing in commercial properties. They build up a massive portfolio. By the time they fucking get to 40 years old, they're worth 100 million, and people are saying, hey, he started at McDonald's. This is how you do it. You got to have a lump sum. But here's the thing. It's very hard to get your hands on a lump sum, because as soon as you do get your hands on a lump sum, these fake milestones pop up. They meet you, okay? Life is very much intertwined with... There's like a correlation. Two things run parallel. The more money you earn, the more life events that move with you. So you start here, more money, car. More money, rented property. More money, girlfriend who wants to get a mortgage. Okay, so let's move up again. Mortgage with more money. Move up again, kids. Move up again, new house, bigger house. Move up again, bigger and new car. Holiday, it never stops. And then your daughter gets married. There's just more things. Every step of the way, every time you earn more money, there'll be more bills. If you can do this, as that rises up, so will that. You'll always have that gap. That's that safety net. That's that breathing space that you require to have that perfect life, to actually not be a 50-year-old guy who's fucking drained, who's worked in a factory for 30 years, doing night shifts because he's had to provide for 3-4 people that entered his life who were having a great time on his money, and he's just fucked physically, financially, mentally. He's just drained. He's just been leached off for all these years. And yeah, you get fun family times, and yeah, kids are beautiful, and having a wife, whatever. It can be great. There are times where it's fantastic. But the majority of the time, you're going to just be providing, just going to a job, just funding all this shit, having nothing left for yourself, which is the important thing. Because all of that can come later. It's like when people have kids, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be down the park on the switch. They're going to be shitting themselves and throwing up and crying. There's going to be a lot of sleepless nights. The sex is probably going to stop. You have to think of everything. You have to think of the bad, not only the good. Everybody has this clouded judgment. And that's the situation that so many guys get into. And it's from wasting lump sums. Because if you spent those lump sums properly, like I said, you might have $1 million, you might have 10 grand a month coming in. Worst case scenario, you might have 3,000-4,000 a month coming in, it's residual. Well, at least you're not draining yourself going to a job each day, then coming home and having to take care of the family. At least you're at home. You can do what you want to do. You can take your kid fishing, you can take your daughter horse riding, whatever it might be. You can actually do things that are fun and actually have a better life. But it comes from those early years. Those early years when you want to spend on stuff because everyone else is, you got to sacrifice. You got to sacrifice those lump sums, because Without those lump sums, life doesn't change. You know, oh, I've got £1,000 spare. Put it into Bitcoin. Put it into Ethereum. See what happens. You might turn it to 10 grand, okay? Which is great. You've improved your money. You know, and then you could do something with that 10 grand. You know, that would be fantastic. That's best case scenario here. But imagine if you didn't buy that car for 8,000. If you didn't take those two lads holidays, which cost you collectively 4,000. Imagine if you sold that Rolex that you couldn't really afford, but it made you look fucking good for 4 grand. You know, imagine if you sold that as well. Imagine if you saved all that money. You weren't renting at this property. You were at your parents' house or whatever, sacrificing every step of the way. You didn't buy those brand new shoes. You didn't buy all this shit. You sacrificed every step of the way, and you were able to put 100 grand now into Bitcoin and 50 grand into Ethereum. Well, let's scale it down. Let's just say 20,000 instead of 1,000. Now that's a huge difference, guys. That's a huge difference. That's the difference between 10 grand and 200 grand. Now, when you've got 200 grand, you're a major player. There's a lot of shit that you can do with that. You can really, really make some smart investments. You know, you could, if you're a property type of guy, you could potentially invest in 5 or 6 properties off that money. You rent all that out. Hey, you're retired. But it comes from these lump sums. They don't come along often. It's very hard to save up a big amount of money because we seem to have the new iPhone every year. New iPhone. It keeps you down. Have the shittest stuff. Sacrifice everything. Build up a lump sum. Execute on a good idea. And avoid these unnecessary milestones and age pressures. You're 30, you need to get married. You're 30, you should have a mortgage. It's about the end game. It's not about what you are today. If you want to grab our men's lifestyle supplement and male advantage ebook, all links are in the bio.